Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship, coming to you live here from Interlagos. So what a great season that we've had so far, and we've come to a brilliant place for the season to end on an absolute high. So if we do have a look at the point standings, it is being led by Edward Samborski with 1,985 points, and with James Pinsker trailing not far behind at all at 1,958 points. So what does that mean? That means that if either driver which finishes ahead of each other, either Edward or James, they might stand a high chance of winning this championship, depending on where, depending on if or not they finish ahead of each other. Paul Ilbring currently stands in the standings at third position, 1817 points. So that is still very close indeed. I will look at the race information. We do have quite good weather here, but alongside myself is Marco Barbanera, going to double roll tonight, running the cameras and being alongside the commentary as well. Marco, it's been such a long time that we've done this together. How have you been?
I'm so happy. Thanks a lot, Weyan. Always a pleasure to share the commentary box with you. It was, 6 months ago, more or less to this day, the final round of the season in this championship, 2021 Season 1, here from Interlagos. And live on Apex Racing TP, go back and watch that race. I was there on commentary exceptionally, I think, if I'm not mistaken as well. James Pinsker won the title by 1 point over Edward Samborski. The story 6 months later is basically the same. Whoever finishes in front wins the title. We will know the results at the end. Interlagos, I always say this, is the best race track for these cars. It always delivers. I'm not expecting anything different today, with the added spice, the big spice of course, of the title fight to be resolved. So we have Team Delisle back, we have the title contenders, everyone is here, the hometown heroes are here in good force. Let's see how this goes.
Oh yeah, most certainly. So, I think the cars are still in qualifying, or rather they have. There's someone up the fence. That's Polybrink. Trying to cut the grass, cut the barrier, I guess. It's kind of going well, I suppose. Let's have a look at the replay. Unfortunately, Polybrink did not nail down a qualifying lap time, so it does seem to be. That's him making his way around that corner. Lost traction a bit. Decided to full send it into the wall, and it's something nice to end off the season with, I guess.
And he's the only driver left on the track. So basically, it was the only car I could show for you guys. Apologies for the late start. Of course, the big events never go smoothly. YouTube didn't want us to press the go live button, but as we say in Italy, the ways of God are infinite. And so here we are, ready to show you the starting grid.
This is a starting grid. So starting from pole position is the ultra fast Tim Delisle from Positive Sim Racing. He starts with a lap time of 1:19.736. Edward Samborski be alongside him, not far behind at all, 9 thousandths of a second behind. He starts from second place. Fabian Ducamo from third. James Pinsker, the title contender, in fourth, or rather the one who's probably having a look at the points once again is going. Yeah, I think James Pinsker is in second, Edward is in first, so both of them fighting very hard indeed. Gustavo Ariel in fifth, and Pavel Vasiliev in sixth. Raymond Pinheiro seventh. Jaden Latic in eighth. Christoph Bus in ninth, and Yuki Shirakawa in 10th. Philip Presnader in 11th, and Rafael Bonifacio will begin from 12th. Have a look at the rest of the drivers. Jason Enrique 13th, Mark Poding in 14th. Nico Varinen in 15th, Jamie Byrne in 16th, James Byrne 17th, Leon Robert in 18th. Paul Ilbrig begins from 19th, and Benjamin Barreto 20th.
And that was your starting grid then, and we are getting ready, just waiting for the last few drivers to join the grid. We are waiting for Pinsker, Pinheiro, Enrique, and possibly Barato. Yeah, just waiting on Enrique. Let's see if he shows up or if we have to wait the full minutes. Here we go, and time to get the show on the road.
So there's going to be a green flag start for the drivers. Tim Delisle leads the field, but there's someone along the inside line around P5 or something trying to have a run for it. The cars go 3 wide into turn 1 into the center S's. That is Tim Delisle still leading. Samborski drops to 3rd position. Pinero goes up, jumps all the way up to 2nd position. So many gains that he's made there. Delisle makes a bit of a breakaway at this point. Some drivers overtaking in the background there. But I think it's a great start. It's mostly a great start. Pinero made 5 positions up, and Samborski dropped 1 position from where he started from. So this is a very ultra clean race start indeed for such a final round. In fact, I think all the drivers are in good position to begin this race. Riding along the gearbox of Tim Delisle, he's about 8/10 of a second ahead of the rest of the field, and that is a healthy gap that he is to set a precedence for himself. The pressure now is on Edward Samborski to try to find a safe 2nd place position to anchor himself on, as he wants to try to fend off his title rival James Pinsker, who is currently in 6th position. So this is a very close fight, and James also is going to definitely want to try to find his way around the 2 Brazilian drivers ahead of him, and also Samborski to find himself out the rear end of Samborski, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. 1 lap around Interlagos, here we go.
Yeah, bit of a kerfuffle there at the start. Seems like all the title contenders, well, you know, at the first, it's always tough to make it out here, because we, you know, you see this bunch of cars, but it was Enrique, Bussi, Presnyder and Shirakawa, the drivers that were involved in the wreck at the start. And as you can see, Samborski trying to battle with Ramon Pinheiro. Of course, for the title contenders, as Pinheiro goes wide, every move carries an extra weight of fear, of danger, because here we go. Pinheiro off, hard into the wall.
Let's have a look at a replay of how exactly that incident happened. So Pinheiro rejoins the track from outside. He's now behind that is another car. Oh, so it was a contact between the right rear of Pinheiro and the left front of, I think, Ducamo, and that resulted in the big off that we saw. These cars are really sensitive, and now his rear wingless, engine lidless, and he's probably going to have a very high straight line top speed.
Yeah, he's doing his best impression of Latifi from earlier during qualifying, but back to the action, because now Ariel is under pressure. Now is the first time we see him in this series, if I'm not mistaken, and he is certainly a quick driver, #1 of the room, whilst Pinsker is sporting his newly acquired black stripe, which I think he got in the qualifying series for the IR01. So certainly some changes, but right now the big block there by the Brazilian.
Well, going hard at each other, very excellent battling there. So this is definitely going to buy James Pinsker some time in trying to close up the gap. So every position that James Pinsker can get ahead of the rest of drivers in the field represents better chances of him trying to have a go at the championship. Leon Robert in 9th position. He's defending his position from James Byrne and Paul Ilbrink, who's climbed a lot of positions from where he started from. He started from the rear, and now he's making his way up to the mid-pack. And we've seen a lot of Paul Ilbrink moves where it goes from 0 to hero, or as we like to think that way. And we'd like to also see if that's going to be the case later on today. Riding on board with James Pinsker, we can tell he's probably lifted a little bit. He's still sitting in the slipstream of Gustavo Ariel there in 4th position, and yeah, going hard on the brakes into the center S's. I think with the curves here at Interlagos, is they're so wide, you can use so much of them, and exiting that corner, continuing the slipstream. So certainly they've done 4 laps already, still plenty of time for Pinsker to think of a move. He tries to think of a move indeed. I think the opportunity is beginning to creep in for James Pinsker to make the overtaking move on Gustavo Ariel, and he will definitely have to think of a move as they enter this middle sector here at Interlagos, going into Ferradura, decreasing radius right-hander, then into these series of
around he
hairpins.
goes!
No,
Contact! Pinsker's car okay as Ariel's car, the Brazilian, spun right in front of him? Drama already for the championship contender. So I saw some damage that then popped out, but of course hitting the front wing into another car is never a good idea. You see James trying everything he can to get out of the way. Oh man,
his front wing got hit.
Maybe he got away with it. Will you have to maybe look at the clock in the next few laps, or maybe even better, if someone is in the session spotting for him and he's watching the race, can help us as Hilbrink tries to go past Robert for P number 9, but certainly not what Pinsker wanted to do. No fault of his own, of course. So now he's up into fourth, only one car between himself and Samborski, but a massive question mark hangs above his head right now, and his title charge to boot.
Yep, Paul Hilbrink, in fact, going on a crazy hunt for positions. He's all the way up to 9th position already, 10 places up in 5 laps, which is a very, very good, very spectacular rather. And he's going to have Bonifacio in his crosshairs next, which is very interesting because the Radicals logo has a crosshair over there. If you do see the rear spoiler, Ducarmo in 3rd, so he is the wedge between the two championship contenders, Samborski and Pinsker, and these guys are in fact going to close up very, very soon.
Let's see the lap time comparison. And Ducarmo gained almost 3/10 of a second, so car seems to be fine. In the meantime, his title contender Samborski with a 20.48, that's the fastest lap of the race so far. Let's see the comparison between the two leaders, and as you can see, after a brilliant start for our 5-time Le Champion, Tim Delisle, he is now falling back into the clutches of Samborski, and Samborski knows, of course, that he only needs to look at Pinsker for the title and vice versa. But dare I say, if you finish first, that's the best place you can be, because no one can finish in front of you. If my maths
exactly,
are correct.
that's right. Exactly right, man. I think, I probably suck at math more than you do. So yeah, I think Samborski will definitely be hard pressed to I guess, perhaps make the gain on Tim Delisle if possible. But of course, we do know that Tim Delisle is extremely fast. That's why he's all the way up there. Has been so for so many seasons, and that's not different here. So Samborski is definitely going to try his best that's an interesting helmet design.
Look how happy he is. He's so happy. Every time, no matter the position, no matter the result, I would imagine that smile would grow a bit bigger if the results hold. But as we have learned from Interlagos and the Formula 3.5 in the last few seasons, anything can happen, and probably will, and we have a crash. It's Byrne with Robert in turn 1.
Oh no, that's not good. Have a look at the replay. This is Liam Robert and the other drivers. So this is them going full speed down into the center SSO, breaking into turn, and that was a result of a contact between the front and rear wings of Leon Robert and the other car, and that was a classic unfortunate contact that sent both drivers out.
In the meantime, sorry, Boyan, I would never stop you from commenting on an overtake by your
No. Thanks, Marco. Paul Hilbrink makes the move on Rafael Bonifacio to go up to 8th position. Thank you so much, Marco. Love you.
Cap is going down again now, 0.3 of a second. Look at the lap times, 21.0 for Delisle, almost 0.2 of a second faster, while Pinsker gets his personal best. In the meantime, Ponic and Bonifacio are going hard at it, with Paul Hilbrink right in front of them. So Hilbrink went past Ponic, who's now falling into the clutches of Bonifacio. Great stuff here. In the meantime, Ariel goes past Ladik for 5th place, not shown by the cameras, because unfortunately, despite my continuous request to iRacing, it has nothing to do with SDK Gaming, which we all love, and we also love iRacing, but split screen feature has not been yet implemented, and in cases like this, in tracks like this, we absolutely need it, because the action is everywhere. So Ariel, his car also seems to be okay, and he's up into 5th, whilst Ilbrink goes past Ponik, who now has to defend from Bonifacio. I think it's official that Shirakawa, Pineiro, Enrique and Vasiliev are all out of this race, so their season ends prematurely, as we are already on lap 9, which starts right now. How many risks do you think Edward will take? We know that Tim and Edward are two, staples of this series. They are drivers with incredible experience, but it's also, sometimes it's also a matter of the connection where the guys are based. How much will Edward risk to make a move that's not strictly necessary for him to win the championship?
Yeah, I don't think Edward is one of the drivers who will probably risk it beyond what's necessary. I think he will definitely exercise his best judgment. With that said, of course, a successful overtake, a clean overtake on Tim DeLisle is going to really play the benefit of Eddie so much, because that will help him with securing the best finishing, best points haul for this session to enable him to get the most points, which he needs to seal the championship, because he is currently in the lead and is in a very good position to do so. It also depends on if James Pinske is able to close up the gap. So I think, judging by the way things are, I think Eddie would be very much safe in many ways, like where he is at this point. But of course, he will have to also work to defend himself from Ducamo, who is creeping in from 3rd position. That gap seems to be actually increasing, but we're not going to leave it at that. We'll just continue to observe how it is going to be like. It has been increasing between 3rd and 4th place. That is probably for certain. That's just very interesting to see. 4th place being held by James Pinske, who, as we saw just now, had a bit of a front wing damage, and I think it's going to be a bit difficult for him to gain positions.
Once again, we are here for the final race of the season, and once again, I will not stop to remind you that Destiny and the votes of the community, of course, gave us the same place, the same time as 6 months ago for the Season 1 season finale. It was here at Interlagos, the same 2 title contenders in that case. Oh, and Ladik is around!
Oh no! That almost tangles with oncoming traffic.
If he rejoin to say the least. Unusual spin in a position where you don't usually see it. On the power too early, probably. And here we go.
That's right.
Then we can. Ooh!
Oh, that was very close.
Yeah.
Back to live pictures. This is Bonifacio. This is Ladik making some recovery drive on, I guess, on Bonifacio. So both of them going too wide down into the first corner. But oh yeah, so based on position advantage, I think Ladik loses that position to Barreto, who's made that overtaking move. Barreto now going alongside Bonifacio. And of course, Barreto has the inside line, which he will make it work down the inside. Oh, this is Ladik. He's tried to go for the dive along the inside. That kind of, I guess, they're not close enough for the overtaking move to work. But from this position, we can kind of observe the battle between Barreto and Bonifacio go on very well. So this is.
Netcode!
Oh no!
That was a 1 meter of netcode. What I was talking about earlier, we have drivers from all over the world in this series, and unfortunately, this was the case. And we will appreciate it better from the chopper. Look at that, not even close with each other.
Yeah, that was very fine indeed. Like I think I could put park like five people between the gap or something. There was an unfortunate incident that happened between the two drivers from that code. We're back with Team Delal, your race leader. So I think with that that's just happened. I think Eddie will also have to reevaluate again if he's going to commit to an overtaking move on Delal, or if he's just going to trail behind and make use of Delal's, arguably more advantageous, I guess, pace and such, where Eddie can follow along. Because sometimes, when you're fighting up front, sometimes it helps to be the one following rather than the one leading. Because inherently, you have a little less pressure on you when you have someone in front of you who you can follow. And I think that's something that Eddie might think about. Atlantic locking up a slight bit, and that is Barreto behind him. So battle between these two drivers still ensuing at this point.
In the meantime, I'm seeing Pinsker close the gap slowly but surely with Docarmo, but pardon the repetition, surely that won't be enough because he has to go past Fabio, which is a very, very tough nut to crack, and then try to cover the distance. And from what we've been told by the drivers, we say hello to everyone watching us, especially the fine folks in the YouTube chat who are enjoying the show and providing us with some vital information. These are people that live or have lived regularly in this series in the past few years, so knows all the ins and outs, and watching the weekly races, because of course this being an official series you have multiple attempts at the race during the week. They have told us that Edward Samborski has been absolutely on fire this week, so not going to be an easy job for Pinsker, even if his car is perfectly fine, which I think he is after the scare he had earlier with Gustavo Ariel in the fight for that they had together for 4th and 5th place a few laps ago. It's going to be an incredibly tough proposition for Pinsker to catch Docarmo, pass him, and then catch Samborski and pass him. And I'm still thinking, despite Team Delisle being incredibly fast and a 5-time champion of this series, he has been, as Ladik goes wide, he has been a bit on and off with his participation in the last couple of seasons. So he's maybe not feeling 100% feeling with the car. At the same time, my point was, I think Samborski maybe has a little bit left in his pocket that he can use should the necessity arise to put once again some gap between himself and Pinsker later down the road.
So both drivers, Delisle and Samborski, they have a half a second gap between each other, which is a fairly healthy distance for I guess for Samborski to follow on, but less healthy, a little less healthy here, which is what would appear to be Bonifacio sandwiched by the two Byrne, by James Byrne as well as Jamie Byrne. Oh no! Between Jamie Byrne and Bonifacio, so that does send Jamie Byrne sliding out wide, and he's going to lose a couple of positions, dropping down to 14th position as a result. Let's have a look at a replay. This is them entering this, what corner is this? Ferradura. So both of them going into it too wide, and not necessarily net code. I think that there was, in terms of racing line, there was some contact there. I think it's just a matter of awareness and visibility at that point. That corner, Ferradura, the right hander, is very easy to misjudge where exactly your car is. Back with live pictures, Team Delisle continues to be the race lead, although Edward seems to have Eddie seems to have kind of closed the gap by a fair bit. And I think it's as we watch Eddie hold on to second place. Oh, Hornick is around.
Something has happened to the Canadian. He was all alone in turn 1 and all alone in turn 2, and all alone he went around. Thankfully he didn't hit the wall, but that's less than ideal. Wayan, we have the technology, so let's use it.
Yeah.
Let's see the time delta between first and fourth position. It's shrinking.
It has increased.
No,
Oh,
it has shrunk. It's going. It's now down to.
It goes upwards.
It's not a massive decrease, but Pinsker certainly is coming now. Don't know if he will have enough time, but as you can see here from the picture, you can see that they are all on the same straight and they can see each other. Especially Pinsker will be super motivated because he can see in his relative the gap going down. He can see on the horizon his title rival, and so this is not over just yet.
Oh yes, indeed. Would appear to be the case, in fact, which is definitely going to definitely motivate James Pinsker to make as much ground as he can. To ideally, I think what James Pinsker will definitely want to try his best to do is to overtake Fabio Ducamo first. Of course, we are coming to the approximate halfway point of the race, so plenty of opportunities to do that. As he continues with the next few corners. So the more immediate target for James Pinsker would be Fabio Ducamo, who is around 7/10 of a second ahead, and that is a fair distance for him to at least cover and kind of reach out to make the overtaking move.
Okay, I would say the Pinsker is fine. Fastest lap of the race, 20.34.
That's a great performance by James Pinsker, so definitely on track to make more gains throughout the later part of this race. Certainly very good. James Byrne, we're having a look at James Byrne in 9th position. He's gone alongside Rafael Bonifacio. I think he's just made the overtaking move work down into the center S's, and well, there's some great driving there. He's up into 9th position. I think that's going to be Bonifacio, who's going to go alongside James Byrne probably down this this red tar poster, and then a bit of a brakes here for the left-hander. Very easy to go off track there. Both drivers keeping it very nicely indeed. And they're very close together, and this is very much a good opportunity for Bonifacio to kind of think of an overtaking move. So anytime now he could make it work, depending on how James Byrne positions his car as they come into this sector of hairpins. So racing at Interlagos, it feels a lot like a rinse and repeat because the corners are so close to each other. The track length is quite short, and it's just a lap after lap after lap of repetition, so to speak, that's more frequent than what you see at some of the other bigger tracks. Back with Ducamo, and this is James Pinsker in 4th position, Ducamo in 3rd. They are much closer with each other now, 0.3 of a second between each other, and James Pinsker will definitely have to continue to close up the gap, which he has been doing. So I think maybe in the next couple of laps he will definitely find a window of opportunity to make a send move work for 3rd position.
As you can see in the paint pack provided to us, Fabio Ducamo has the spec map but not the livery, so he has a default livery, I think, with the sponsors jumping up and down randomly on the back of the car. Looks weird but cool.
No, that's interesting. I'm seeing a default paint scheme as well. Yeah, I think one of those nice things about the new spec maps is it just makes the paint scheme look so much nicer. When you've got all the matte surfaces and I guess metallic surfaces, it just looks so nice. Unfortunately, I've stopped painting cars and I've kind of forgotten how to paint cars. Look at this! Both the championship contenders are within close sight of each other. This is James Pinsker going down inside for the move for 3rd position. Commits down and move down into the entrance of the center S's, and he makes it work. James Pinsker up to 3rd position, and he is going to be hot on the tails of Eddie at this point. Of course, Ducamo wants to try to go for a comeback move, but the interest is on James Pinsker to hold on to 3rd position so that he will have a shot at perhaps going against Eddie at this point. So you know, this is a battle down the wire. It is not over until the end of this race, and it could go either way. At this point, the favor is towards Edward Samborski, just because of his position, where exactly he is. But of course, battle going on in third and fourth position, very close there. James Byrne, still in ninth. I think Barrett is fighting with Bonifacio. That was an attempted overtaking move there.
Well, I would say game on. Let's see, we will start lap number 20 this time by. Title contenders, 1.5 seconds in between them. Now I guess this lap will be a bit slower for Pinsker because he had to work for the overtake. But he has been gaining constantly. But Samborski again, oh no, Pinsker was still fastest despite the overtake. But Pinsker now pushing hard, trying to make the pass on Team Delisle. Let's see what happens. This is incredible stuff from Interlagos. Side by side for the lead.
So Eddie's certainly feeling the pressure. He takes the lead along the outside of the entry of the Ciudad del Lago. Makes that move work very well. And you have your new race leader, Eddie Samborski. And this is going to serve to his benefit so much because Tim Delisle, a very fast driver, is now going to possibly defend Eddie's position. So Tim Delisle in second, and I think this is just made things tilted the favor further towards Eddie at this point, and that is very great, or rather very great from Eddie's standpoint. So James Pinsker will have more work to do if he wants to have a go at the championship lead. And
I think that Tim doesn't want to interfere with the title fight, so I'm expecting him to move out of the way of James very soon.
Oh, that's great to hear then. So we'll have a look at how Tim Delisle will play his role, being, I guess, the moderator of these battles in some ways. So that's James Pinsker hot on the rear end of Tim Delisle. So I think Tim would definitely not cause any problems for these drivers, but still, you know, when you're a car, when you're racing up here,
oh dear,
you know, oh, someone's gone out there,
or maybe not. I thought that Tim was going to move out of the way, but tell you what, he's not pulling to the side, and he's not losing ground with Samborski either. So, man, Interlagos always delivers. This is and now he goes, he pushes wide. Semi-involuntarily, and Pinsker goes up into second. So here we go, first and second.
So very much whoever wins this race will most likely win the championship. So we kind of have that. This is a three-way battle here, the mid-pack. This is a battle for, I think, 9th position. All drivers are exchanging positions like mad at this point. This being led by, I think, Bonifacio, who is going on very, very hard indeed with Christmas. Oh, pushed wide a little bit goes Bonifacio, unfortunately. He's going to come back. Are they going to come into contact? No, they're not going to come into contact. They go side by side, and that McLaren presented Renault car. Yeah, very interesting because McLaren, I think they probably used Renault engines before. Do they have? The memory serves me wrong.
I'm sure that Peugeot gave engines to in the dark days of McLaren in the mid-90s. That was bad. Like, yeah.
But then you do have 1998 though, when they first went to Mercedes. They did very well. Samborski on leading the race. Great to see. He leads Pinsker by 0.6 of a second, so that is a very key advantage that he wants to hold on to in order for this whole, for perhaps, you know, I think maybe the doctrine in some ways, because Samborski does, Eddie does say that his setup does sometimes kind of favor himself at the lead, that is with no car in front of him. And we will kind of see how that pans out. It would seem like Eddie is pushing his car a little bit harder now as he's all the way up front. Having a good time, in fact, fighting up front, and Pinsker is over in second position.
We haven't talked about the DRS, but I'm sure that you veterans of the series know everything about it because you haven't missed a single race on Apex 30 TV. And now it's been, I think, almost 2 2 full years, maybe more than that, the series has been shown here. The drivers have 8 activations of the DRS whenever they want, whenever they please. Ignore those banners around the racetrack, those are done for the World Championship cars. But 8 activations, of course, the moment you push the brake pedal, the DRS closes, you lose one of the activations. And drivers need to be smart and maybe try to save them for the end of the race when it really matters.
Oh no!
Steep! Ooh.
That was very, very close. That almost happened. James Pinsker almost had an overtaking move made, due to, I guess, that mistake that Eddie made. But of course, Eddie still recovers his car in time to continue to hold on to his race lead, which is definitely good for him. And this still continues. So we'll definitely we'll definitely stay with them, as they do have 3/10 of a second separating themselves, and we'll see how this pans out. So this is going to be probably a slipstream run. This is likely going to be a positive move, alright, by James Pinsker. So James Pinsker tries to make the overtaking move on Samborski works, so he does skirt around the outside and down into the center S's. And James Pinsker, your new race leader, made the overtaking move on Edward Samborski and that's definitely worked very well. So he's going all defensive, alright, and all the cars behind follow as well to get all the slipstream possible. Very interesting to see, and this is your new race leader. And if James Pinsker is going to be able to keep this up, he will have a very high chance of taking the championship win for himself.
Comeback complete after the big scare of the crash in the opening laps. Pinsker fought all the way back, but now, of course, we need to see if Samborski has in him to come back and to not have a repeat of season 1. He seems to be struggling a bit, Weyan. I don't know if he burned his tires early, even though it seemed to be pretty comfortable in the draft of team. And then when he had to make the move, he made the move with ease, even though team didn't really put up a massive fight. Or maybe he's just waiting, staying in the draft and unleashing his remaining DRS in the final few laps of the race. We have 3 laps left in the championship. So far, James J. Pinsker is leading the way, and according to our unofficial calculations, would also bring home his second title in this series after winning 6 months ago in this very same place against the same opponent, Samborski, with a last lap pass on Fabio Do Carmo. Very akin to what happened in real life here in 2008. But now the two contenders this time are next to each other. Samborski is certainly not giving up. He's super close, only 0.4 of a second, and we see how easy it is to make a mistake here in the later stages of the race. And of course the DRS with the 2 big straights that we have, the front stretch and of course the Reta Opposta after the Senna S, also a very long straight. So the DRS, if you have saved it correctly, can be an incredibly powerful tool. Enjoying the show are, well, the deciding factor in last year's race, Fabio Do Carmo, and of course Tim Delisle, the 5-time champion, who's, as I was saying, doing some on and off appearances this season. He's enjoying himself. I think he has, enough titles to have rings in one hand. So I say, you know what, for this time I'm okay with being a spectator. And what a fantastic seat he has.
Yeah, this is a great battle, in fact. Yeah, it would appear that Eddie does seem to have a bit of trouble, I guess, with getting the most out of his car at this point. Of course, then James Pinsker going ultra defensive all the time, which is, I think he definitely has to do that. It goes very defensive, and this is him going into the Ciudad del Lago. He leads Samborski with a gap of 4 to 5/10 of a second. Going very well indeed. And yeah, he continues to have the race lead, so I think that right now, we do also see a top 4 break away from the rest of the field. Unfortunately, Paul Ilbring in 5th position. He's 10 seconds behind everyone, and I don't think there's much of an opportunity left for him to have any overtaking moves to make. We are at 1 lap to go. White flag should come towards the end of this lap, and we will definitely see if this is going to be battle to the finish.
I think that Paul will bring home the Nikita Mazepin award because he has the fastest lap of the race. Yes, but we've seen time and time and again in this series the fastest lap of the race being awarded on the final lap, which starts right now, the final lap of the season. Pinsker over Samborski, whoever finishes first should bring home the title. One more lap of suffering for these two drivers, and we will see who's going to bring it home for 2021 Season 3.
Final lap of the season for these drivers. Now, of course, this being the iRacing officials, they still got an additional day or two to kind of enter another race event to probably get even more points. Of course, the best result will, the highest SOF results will count. So definitely some opportunities left for them, but otherwise we can probably also take this as indication of finish. Oh, making good use of the apex there. So this is James Pinsker continues to lead the race.
Just a few corners left for Pinsker. It seemed like all was lost in this very corner just half an hour ago. Now he only has one more run through the Arquibancadas to potentially celebrate his second title in 3 seasons. Here we go, Wayan, is all yours.
This is James Pinsker who will come around the final corner, the final kink, and he's going to come around the start-finish line, most likely as the series champion of iRacing Formula Renault 3.5 2021 Season 3. Very, very fantastic driving by James Pinsker. And he's definitely so happy over the in-race radio. In fact, Samborski was so close in taking the series win, but this is a battle going on to the finish. So, in fact, James Pinsker pinged me earlier on. He says that this was going to be a close battle, and indeed, it was much closer than we expected. So it is very much likely going to go in the favor of James Pinsker, the race championship. Team Delisle comes home in 3rd, Fabio Ducamo in 4th, Paul Ilbrink in 5th position. So those drivers up there, they are probably going to go for a 4th opportunity. The battle's not all over yet. This is James Byrne versus, I think, Leon Robert. And of course, Leon Robert finishes ahead of James Byrne. And this is Jamie Byrne who's battling against Philippe Presneder. So they finish on 14th and 15th respectively. Well, Marco, what a battle up front, you know, for this race. I think it was really exciting. You know, we couldn't have expected that James Pinsker had such a great did such a great job, you know, going for a recovery drive after I think ostensibly damaging his front wing. He's made his way back and he's now, well, I think he's most likely going to be series champion.
So, you know, when I saw the schedule for last season and I saw that Interlagos was the penultimate race of the season, I was a bit sad. But when I saw the schedule for this season, as here we go with some, hopefully, donuts. There we go, in front of the marshal. You need to respect the marshals because we, you know, I can tell you, it's not nice to smell all the smoke. He's now going for the... Careful for the... do not pull a Sam Fitzpatrick when he got disqualified the other week after celebrating backwards a victory. So when I saw the season finale was going to be here in Interlagos for Season 3, I said, man, let's hope we get something close to what we had in Season 1. And boy, we had that and more with the 2 title contenders fighting until the bitter end. Pinsker with a fantastic comeback. Commiserations, of course, to Samborski. We are waiting on the results. They should come in a bit. But first, Wayan has the final results. Those are official, of course, from this race here at Interlagos. And here they go.
So once again, your season champion of the iRacing Formula Renault 3.5 Championship 21-21 Season 3, James Pinsker. He wins the race and the championship. Eddie Samborski was so close, and you know, I think every race, and very much the case with iRacing events, you know, they reward consistency above everything else. These two drivers were consistently up there. They weren't necessarily winning every race, but they were always up there. So Edward Samborski comes home in 2nd place. Tim Delisle, a very fast driver indeed, comes home in 3rd. He probably didn't want to get in the way of the championship contenders. Fabio Ducarmo in 4th. Paul Ilbrink in 5th position. Gustavo Ariel in 6th. Benjamin Barreto in 7th. Jaden Laddick in 8th. Mark Hornick in 9th. Rafael Bonifacio in 10th. Leon Robert in 11th. James Byrne in 12th. Nico Varinen in in 13th, Jamie Bird in 14th, Philip Presnader in 15th, Christoph Buzzi 16th, Yuki Shirakawa unfortunately retired from the race 17th, and so did the rest of the drivers that round out the finishing list: Ramon Pinheiro, Jason Enrique, and Pavel Vasiliev.
Interview time, of course, and of course I think Wei-An standing by with our potential Le Champion. James Pinsker is all yours.
James, first of all, massive congratulations for taking the race. You kind of pinged me saying that it's going to be a battle to a finish, and it certainly was. We just didn't expect that it would be so close, and so close in fact it was. I think at the start of the race, we saw that you did come into a bit of incident there with one of the other cars at the start. We did not expect that you'll be able to go on a recovery drive and take on the race win, and it was a fantastic job by yourself. So, bro, congratulations on your championship win, also. And share with us your thoughts on I guess winning the championship.
Oh my God, the race. I mean, winning the championship, it's a feeling, but the way to do it feels just as good as 2 seasons ago when there was that crazy race and I got it on the line. It feels just as good as that. I can't believe it. I don't even know. I was like, after the first few laps, I was down quite a few DRSs and I was 6 seconds behind because I was getting stuck. I didn't have the clutch for the start, so I dropped a few places, and then Gustavo spun in front of me and I was low on DRS. My pace wasn't feeling great, and I just felt it was an inevitability. We were just going to cruise to the end. Tim first, Ed second, Fabio third, me fourth, and just running the same pace. But then suddenly I see the pace starts to get a bit better, and I see the gap going down like slowly, and I'm like, okay. I didn't believe it until I was actually passing Fabio, and then I saw they were 1.5 seconds up the road. But then I was like, okay, I can do this. But I had no DRS, and I just assumed that Ed and Tim, like not battling each other, would have just been saving DRS the whole time. So then Tim made a mistake and kind of didn't fight the place too hard, which I thought was nice of him. I think he was running out of tires toward the end. And then Ed, I see Ed is right in front of me, and I get the run. I think he's going to have loads of DRS, and it's going to be really hard to overtake. But no, one time, bang, through on the straight, round the outside of turn 1. It was really tight. We really came close to contact. And then, because the slipstream was so powerful, I knew it's not over. I've got to keep doing these perfect, consistent laps. I don't think I made a mistake in that whole race, and just get it, like keeping it going. And I knew it was going to be close. And then I've only clicked in my head when I'm going up the straight to take the flag. I'm like, holy crap, I've done it. I've come from 6 seconds behind. A track where Ed won here last season. A track where, well, Tim is Tim Dalal, 5-time champion. To run him down, run those guys down, and oh my God, what a feeling. I've never had a win in this series quite like that, let alone when the championship is on the line. And oh my God.
Well, I think you're gonna take the next few moments to take it in, man. You are season champion. Fantastic job on that. I think both yourself and Andy, you guys put up a great show for us, not just this race but all season long, in fact. And I think very much also your point on not necessarily having to win races. As long as you're up there, I think the way iRacing works is it favors consistency above everything else, and I think it's definitely played in your favor with your finishing result today. So, usually I'll be prompted to talk about the next race, but of course this is a finale. There's no next race. There's only the next season. What are your goals or expectations moving on to the next season? Still racing this series? Still racing with the same guys?
Well, I hope I get to battle these guys again, because this is something I should have brought up earlier to Ed Samborski. Massive commiserations for losing the season, because since after Montreal, pretty much he was outpacing me all the time, and he didn't make any mistakes in this whole season. He was doing everything right, and then at Spa, when I made the mistake in Les Combes from pole position, and then I went across the grass, he was the guy who got unlucky from that, and I was really upset with myself at that point. And I offered him, look, do you want to I can forfeit the last race for you if you want, because I felt so sorry and upset that I'd caused his DNF in the penultimate race of the season through my complete own fault. But he said no, he wanted a fight. And again, these are what makes these races so memorable. Like 2 seasons ago, the incredible race we had here in Interlagos for the finale. And yeah, I feel sorry for him for the crash in Spa, and also just for missing out again, because I know he puts a lot of effort into this, and he's been a really good driver, and he definitely deserves to win the championship. In terms of myself for the next season, I just qualified for the Dallara Pro Series, so I don't know if I might go into a stage where I'm just doing the odd race, kind of like Tim does now. Like I might only do a few races per season. It would be a shame, because I've been here for since 19S4 doing races. I've done like maybe 70 of these provided by ARTV, and I've loved every single moment of it. And I definitely have a great loyalty to this place, and I enjoy battling these guys. But maybe we'll see. I'm undecided whether I'll like call it quits and retire, or if I'll do another full season or two. Yeah, for sure. I love this car, and I love this series, and I love the people that I get to race against every week. And moments like this, races like this, just what put the cherry on the cake. So yeah, make sure to donate to these guys so we can run another season. If next season gets broadcast, then race 3 of that season will be the 100th race anniversary, if you will, of this thing. I'd be looking forward to competing or watching that at Monza. So yeah, and then thanks to Tim and Fabio for being responsible in our race today, and thanks to Ed for putting on a good, clean, fair show. I can think of very few times where he's been at fault for causing incidents, so I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, I'm so happy. So thank you to you guys, and what a season! Thank you.
That's so great to hear. So certainly all the best with the Dallara Pro Series. Congratulations on making the cut for that. Hope you're enjoying your new black stripe license. Before we do let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to your sponsors, your team?
I mean, again, well, massive shout out to Ed Samborski, because I'm sure he has his story to tell from today. I'm sure he got a bit unlucky with the way certain things went, and I mean, again, I crashed him last week, so yeah, I feel sorry for him. But I think the race today was really epic, so it's definitely a memory to have from this whole iRacing thing. And yeah, thanks to Tim and Fabio and everyone else putting on a good race and good season. Thanks to ARTV. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've forgotten to bring up in this. I don't know. It's been a long journey, and I'm very tired. But yeah, just thanks to everyone, and on to bigger and better things, I hope. So if I race next season, then I'll see you there.
All right, that's certainly great to hear. So looking forward to seeing you guys race again next season. It's been such an exciting season for us, so we've definitely enjoyed it. So this was James Pinsker, season champion of the Formula Renault 3.5 series, Marco. I think. I wonder who we have next. Not sure if we do have Edward Zamborski, but I think we might have another driver.
We might have a quick chat with Tim. I just want to say something, and people always ask me, why do you do this? Especially, I mean, in Singapore, where Weian lives, is basically stupid o'clock in the morning. Here it's a quarter to 1 a.m. In Italy. And it's times where especially on a Saturday or of course a Sunday for Weian, you should be doing different things, mainly sleeping or going out. I can't help but be incredibly happy, because as they say, a wise man once said that the cars might be virtual, but the emotions are real. And to witness a race like this and just feel the emotion coming out from James, and I'm sure the emotions running high. Of course, Edward, different kinds of emotions, of course. This is well worth the price of everything. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat for the entirety of the race, and to be incredibly lucky. By the way, let's send a big hello to Jessica Ball, who couldn't be with us because she's karting today, and as a lesson, because the same thing happened season finale of season 1. If one of the two main commentators misses the final race, is going to be a battle between Pinsker and Samborski, and finish with a very, very close margin at Interlagos. That was Austin who missed the first race for a dental incident, if I remember correctly, and this time it was Jessica. We say hello to her. I said to her, I sent her a message, I'm not going to spoil you the results, but watch the race back because it was epic. We started a little bit late because of the YouTube issues, so we have time for a quick interview to round off the season, and who better to have, as the replay goes to the scary moment for James there, to have Tim as our final interview of the season. Tim, welcome to the booth. Nice to have you here for this season finale. And yeah, how's it going out there?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that was a crazy race. First of all, big congratulations to James. It looked like he was quickest today and fully deserved the win. And at this stage, as far as we can tell, he's won the championship again. So big congrats to him and commiserations to Ed. I said it in the chat, but yeah, just a champion's drive from both guys today. Amazing stuff. From my point of view, I don't know, I don't know if it's because I'm not racing as much or just general lack of confidence, but I've lacked race pace the last few months. I can still put in a decent qualifying lap, and then the race starts, and I worked out pretty early on that of the top 4 that had sort of broken from the rest of the pack, I was the slowest of the 4, kind of holding Ed up. We talked about it yesterday. I said, because there was a similar situation yesterday where I got pole, but he was faster during the race. And I said, I will be racing, but I'm not going to, do anything stupid. And yeah, I was fighting, times when Ed was pretty close coming out of Junsao. Every lap he was pulling at least a 10th on me through there. So yeah, he was very quick through there, but yeah, the laps, I thought he was close enough. I was using DRS to defend, and yeah, eventually I just had a bit of a wide moment in turn 1. He got a run on me, and I wasn't going to make it difficult. Both of us would lose time if we started fighting through turn 4. So, and last thing I want is to cause an incident, when the championship's at stake. So he got through, and then James very quickly got Fabio and then straight on to me. Had super pace in that second half of the race, and I was just terrified being in a championship sandwich. I've got nothing at stake here, but these guys have it all on the line. So that I guess pressured me into a mistake. I made a lock up, that slow right-hander at the top of the hill, and I could have fought for position, but again, combination of not wanting to cause an incident and be responsible for ruining the finale, and also just wanting to defend my own position in the race. If James and I had raced too hard, Fabio could have got us both as well, and then I'd be at the back of the train. So I didn't make it too hard there, and then I had a front row seat to a great battle between both guys, and yeah, it looked very tight at the moment when James and Ed were fighting on the main straight. But yeah, James made the clean pass and yeah, managed to hold on, withstood the pressure, which I couldn't do today. So yeah, again, congrats to both guys.
Well, those are incredible words. Thank you, Tim. And of course, this being, one of your, wild card appearances you have done here over the past few years, and this, of course, being the final race of the season, the question, of course, is asking itself about what are your plans for next season, and how are you going to spend week 13?
Next week, I'm just going to take a break. I guess I'm enjoying just showing up when I feel like it. picking certain tracks. The schedule does look pretty good next season, especially if we've got Hungaroring in there, which I think will suit this car really well, probably better than it does in F1. I think there'll be more passing opportunities for us. But overall, I'm just happy to let the other guys deal with that massive pressure week in, week out. And yeah, I'll just pick my spots and try to be the wild card again. But yeah, just enjoying the broadcasts whenever I don't race, and happy to contribute where I can and keep this great series going.
Yeah, when you have 5 trophies to take care of during the week, time for practice is less and less, no? So that's, I imagine, is the big problem with all those 5 beautiful trophies. I mean, virtual trophies. I mean, unless you got a real trophy, but I don't know if that's the case. But still, with 5 titles to your name, I think it's okay to have a wild card, career now. I certainly don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I don't have any real trophies, but my friend Cameron, he's an amazing graphic designer. He designed my helmet, and he's also made a poster commemorating the 5 championships, and I do have that hanging up proudly on the wall.
That is absolutely amazing. If we can have a picture of that soon, it will be amazing, because I'm sure it's a very nice piece of art. And I would be incredibly proud to have that on my wall. The top thing I can hang on my wall is my 500 SOF skip barber victories. So that being said, thanks a lot, team. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Positive Sim Racing as always. It's been a bit quiet lately. Just the whole IRO1 situation kind of took us out of regular competition. But just we're always pushing behind the scenes. So thanks to Greg and Javier, and again, James and Ed for a great battle throughout the season and today. You guys for the coverage. Great to see that we got the donations over the line to get the broadcast for next season. And there's probably people I'm forgetting. My girlfriend Amy, always supportive. I think that's it. But thanks guys for a great season.
Thank you very much, team. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you already had your breakfast.
Thanks guys, see ya.
That was Team Delisle. We are here to finally wrap up the season, so I will leave it in your capable hands.
Well, I think it's been such an amazing season so far. Unfortunately we're missing Jessica Ball. Would have been really nice with her around, but I hope she's enjoying her holiday over in Scotland. Just very much a big thank you to everyone for such an amazing season of coverage. Thank you to yourself, Marco, for following along the whole season, as well for having me on this. Just like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We need a little bit of time to flip around the some of that stuff, but yes, we do have the Virtual Racing School, who does support us, so do check out their website for one-to-one driver coaching, as well as setup hacks and stuff like that. It certainly helps you with enhancing our racing experience on iRacing. I've also got SDK Gaming, which provides us with these very amazing lifelike graphic overlays, which have become in fact the tool of choice of many racing leagues, and in fact very much so here in Asia as well. A lot of broadcasters have adopted SDK Gaming for our use, and in fact it's just such a great all-around software that I think you should definitely give a consideration if you are running a broadcasting operation or a league operation of yours. So Apex Racing TV is streaming this on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Apex Racing TV. That would be very much appreciated. Do click the bell icon as well, so you'll be the first to know when the channel goes live. And I think that just kind of leaves us to kind of know that this has once again been an exciting season. Certainly with your presence, Marco, and with Jessica Ball, as well as all the viewers who've kind of made this such a great experience for all of us, Marco.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a fantastic season, and again, I'm so happy to have had the opportunity to, call this final race. Hopefully, you all liked it, and yes, it's time to look forward to season 4. Hopefully. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wayan. Do you want to close this one?
Thank you so much, Marco. So on behalf of everyone here at Apex Racing TV, thank you so much. We do have many more broadcasts coming on throughout the end of this weekend as well as next week. So we hope to see you on those broadcasts. Have a good day ahead.